Sales and Service Engineer for Salo Agro Industrial Limited. I'm welcoming you all to our demonstration, where we are going to look at the demonstration on the tool tractor. We are going to talk about tillage that involves the tilling of the soil. We have different sections in our tilling. This is starting from small scale, medium scale, up to the commercial stage where you're going to use big tractors. Right now, I will just present to you, to talk to you a bit more about our two-wheel tractor, which we can use at our small scale stage. It is very affordable, and this is for those people that have not yet managed to acquire implements for tractor driven or implements for commercial stage. Okay, so behind me here we have a two tractor, which we call it two-wheel tractor because of the wheels that are there. I'll talk about the modification that we have now. There are four wheels, quite all right, but you'll find this a very common tractor as two-wheel tractor. Let me just briefly talk about the background to this. Initially, people used to plow using animals. You have two oxen, which you harness. They'll be pulling a plow and there's someone behind controlling the plow. But then those animals, they would need at some point, maybe around 11, 10, they will need to go and eat. You stop all the operations, you wait for them tomorrow so that once they are fed, then you can go again in your field and do the plowing. But plowing and farming only has a short window where you need to do your plowing within the given window. This is where now the introduction of the engine that is on wheels, replacing the oxen, comes in, and this is where someone initially would actually walk behind it. So this two-wheel tractor, you crank the engine, you start the engine, it will be moving forward, pulling. Then behind the two-wheel tractor now, you can couple a planter, you can couple or connect up a reaper, and you can also connect up a ridger. You can even do mowing using the same. You can do a number of things that you can connect, like a boom sprayer, which is designed for the same two tractor. So right behind us, as you can see, there is also an attachment which we introduced because we looked at the process of you moving with the two tractor. It's very much tiresome, especially women could not be able to do that for a longer period of time. So we introduced a seat. Instead of you walking with the tractor, you are going to sit and then you transfer everything that could have been connected to the plant. It now gets transferred and be connected behind here. As we can see, this is the reaper. It was supposed to be connected just behind those wheels there in front. Then you are going to walk with it. But unfortunately, that will always someone get tired very easily. Within 2 hours, you get knocked out, you are tired. But now this will allow women with little effort, they sit there, be able to control it. They will be able to turn, they reach the end of the field, and then they're able to control the tractor. And the plowing gets prolonged. Within a day, you are going to do much more hectareage compared to someone who is using oxen or who's using same tractor but walking. So this is what was designed, and this you only find it with Saro. Saro that designed this. We started this project trying to make this seat for 2 years now, and we've sold these things to so many people. So many clients have gotten them, and they are very much happy with this. This also helps you be able to control your lines. For example, when you are leaping here, you are going to ensure that your lines are straight as you are starting to open up or rip, so that the other operations, let it be spread, let it be even cultivating, you still use the same track lines. So this will help you when you are seated to be able to control it without problems. But when you don't have this seat, you are going to have issues with controlling. This is where you have lines swerving left, right, and they are all going to sideways. Let me just talk a little bit about the implements that we have. This one, when you are to buy it, it comes automatically with a plow. It comes with a rotavator. So a plow will be used to till the land. As you are tilling the land, there are those clods and lumps that will always remain. Those are not ideal if you want to plant some seeds. You find that you are going to have poor germination because some soil clods are going to be too big for penetration of those seeds. So you need to go in with a rotavator. A rotavator will now come in and break those clods and you are going to flatten your land, and the bed preparation is going to be very good. Okay, coming to the implements that work with the tractors, the big tractors. These are four-wheeled tractors. We have different two types of tractors, four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. We have different models. We have Tafe, we've got Landini, and Kubota, just to name a few that we stock as Salo. This one that we are seeing here is a tractor that is coming from India. It's a Tafe tractor, 60 horsepower tractor. And this is actually four-wheel drive, meaning that all the wheels are able to pull in case there is a need to do that. You can engage or disengage. So we're talking about plowing or the tillage systems that are involved in agriculture. We're using a smaller tractor that side. Now we are using a bigger tractor. I'll just run you through the implements that we use or we actually couple with these tractors. So we have the main one that we use, the first tillage system that we use in agriculture, that is primary tillage. The primary tillage will actually do the first soil engagement and leave you with clods. And then you go in with the secondary, which is a disc harrow. So with what we have just demonstrated, we had a plow, which is coming from Brazil. It's AF plow. It comes in different sizes. 2 discs, 3, 4, 5. And we also have a reversible, also coming from Brazil. So that plow is one of the most durable plow. It's very strong. We demonstrated it here. As we can see from the videos, the plow will actually go into the soils, turn the soils, invert them. Trashes are going to be buried, and then this will also control your weed and also incorporate whatever residue is there with the soils. And then from there you can go in with a disc harrow to pulverize those big clods. Make sure that the seed bed is well prepared for planting of seeds using a disc harrow. So once we have plowed, go in with a AF plow, disc harrow, which is also coming from Brazil, which is Baudan, and then that is the system which you can use. I was talking about green tillage. So you can use this kind of arrangement when you want to do your virgin land. There are so many roots, so many trashes, and you want to have a proper seed bed. You go in with a plow, it will do that for you. And you find that your crops will begin to germinate before you can have the seeds starting to germinate. After that, then we also, maybe before even talk about planting, we were talking about conservation. So on a bigger stage as well, we have a conservation which we call conservation reaper, which we call a 2-tine reaper. This one is actually locally made. We make it ourselves as Saro. This one, if you can see, you are going to find a lot of reapers in this country. But this one is very unique in such that, in a way that if you look at the flank part of the reaper, it's got quarter discs. So this is going to cut through every trash and all the roots that are lying before the tines, before the tines comes. So when you have these, you are not going to have problems with reaping, because if you don't have those things cutting through, you are going to have trashes and other things accumulating in front of the tines, hence lifting the tines, and the depth is compromised. So you need those cutting, the cutting quarter discs to cut through, so that they make way for the tine to come and rip through, and you maintain your depth. Then behind the tines we have the crumbler. In case you are doing it when it's dry, you are going to have big lumps that will still remain after you've done the ripping. You come in with a crumbler which is able to rotate and crush those clods or the lumps, so that you have a seed bed that is properly done. So you come in with a plant after you've done with those lines, come in with a plant, adjust it to the width and the interspacing that you want. 70 80, 100, and then the crumbler has already gone there and made the soils very fine. The tooth is properly achieved. You go in with a planter, you're able to plant maize, plant soybeans, plant all kinds of things. So the planter that we use is also coming from Brazil. It's a PLB model planter. That planter can plant for you maize, soybeans, sorghum, groundnuts. It can plant quite a number of seeds. It actually comes with a very blank seed plate where you are able to perforate holes just in case your seed cannot be accommodated by the seed plates that are provided by the planter. Therefore, you can plant a variety of seeds using the PLB planter, and then you can plant and at the same time apply fertilizer. So it has a seed hopper and a fertilizer hopper where you put your seed at the same time. You actually register or calibrate it as you want. So if the farmer wants to apply about 200 kgs of fertilizer in your field, you're going to get the manual which will properly guide you which sprocket do you need to couple with which one in order to get that one done for you, and it's perfectly doing that. Okay, so that is what we have. And then after you have done the planting, mind you, we started with plowing, disking, we've reaped, then we have to plant. After you have planted, we come in with a spray. The type of sprayers that we have at Saro, we're actually getting these sprayers from Jacto. This is also another company in Brazil. These are very good sprayers. We have the smallest, we are talking about tractor-trailed sprayers or tractor-mounted sprayers. The smallest about 400 liters, which covers about 10 meters coverage when you are spraying. That one has a JP42 pump, which pumps about 42 liters of water in a minute. It's the smallest we have with a monojet type of nozzles, meaning that you can only use one nozzle at a time, though we supply you with a spare or separate nozzles, which we normally have flat fan and hollow cone. Those are the two types of nozzles that come with the sprayers that we have. But you can choose to mount hollow cone or even flat fan. Next to the 400 liter sprayers, boom sprayer, we have the Kondo M12, which is 600 liters, but it covers about 12 meters as you are spraying coverage. And that one has a JP75 pump size, which just pumps about 75 liters per minute, meaning that you have a better coverage and it's budget. You can mount two nozzles at a go, but of course you only be using one type. You can actually change it and then by just turning it, use the other one. Okay, so it's got a good master flow control, which will enable you to control the application rate as advised by the chemical manufacturers. You're able to control it, and then you get the application rate you have or you need, and then the crop protection is done properly. So from there we have 800 liters, we go up to 2,000 liters. Actually, it's about 3,000 liters. Then there's a self-propelled one, which wouldn't need a tractor. It's got its own engine and all that. So those are the sprayers that we have on our tractors.